So I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You say that you had this moment of experience,
Yeah.
right? And then you see that there's this going in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah? So what is seeing this going in and out?
Well, that's just that awareness.
It's just that awareness?
I mean,
This tells everything. This tells absolutely everything.
yeah.
Yeah?
See, I'm not in doubt. It's just I have no problem observing my thoughts, but the feelings are still a little bit harder to observe.
Yes. Still I have to go back,
Right.
right? Because you say, I ask you what is seeing this going in and out, right? Right? Um, you say that you're seeing this going in and out,
Yeah.
personal identity and having moments of seeing, right?
It's a
Would you like to meet?
mhm.
Would you like to meet? Are you available for that?
Yeah, I think it all goes back to the fear of death, which I seemingly have conquered. But it's kind of like from being the fear of death, it became the fear of dying. So not the death itself, but the process. Anyways, it's always revolving around that. So that's where my personalhood is kind of shaky. Yeah.
Yes, yes. See, in the recognition, when awareness recognizes itself, that doesn't fix the little person.
Yeah.
The little person, the little identity with a little person, is where all the fear is,
Right.
right? Is where all the only fear of death is for the one who thinks it's separate,
Right.
right? So all of that is existing in the personal identity, and you are aware of that.
Yeah.
Yes? So the point is what is really you. So I hear that you had this moment of recognizing that, yet the identification is still in that little self, right? And when I say that, it's not that I'm saying, oh, you didn't get there yet. I'm not saying that, because you are already what you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about getting there, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that when I ask you, what is seeing this going in and out? You answer, oh, it's just that awareness, which shows me that you answer from the little self.
I didn't extrapolate because I've already like listened to a lot about that. So
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
we are here
yeah,
now.
I know,
Can
I
you
know.
can you can you meet me here now? That's like,
Yes,
I long for that.
yes.
I long for that from you, you know?
So the danger is for me to fall into some sort of concept.
Oh no, you're already in some sort of
Yeah,
concept.
yeah.
And I offer you the space to come to a true meeting.
Okay.
I dare you to get on this hot seat.
Okay. All right.
Oh, give him a cushion.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm too comfortable in my body. So yeah. So it's been a. I wouldn't say it's been a struggle, but it's been sort of like that
It
oscillating.
doesn't matter what it's been. It doesn't matter. Hello, Lucas.
Hello, how's it going?
Hello. Hello. Ah. I'm having a hot flush. It will pass like everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you make this report, I understand your experience fully. And then, you know, when awareness recognizes itself, hold on, let's just wait. There's somebody's busy with something. Hold on, because it needs to be a meeting. Are you leaving us?
It's hot sometimes with the sun in the back.
Okay. So, are you leaving? Are you staying?
No,
Are you?
I'm staying. I'm sorry to move.
Yeah,
I'm
because.
just moving to make comfortable.
Okay, you can move down here also if you want, or down here. Just remain. I'm with you.
Trying here and then I was
Huh? Because one movement, just one movement in here moves everything. Because it's a meeting of the one. So one little movement moves it all. And I'm very aware of that in my system. So if you can be here with yourself, which is sitting here on a chair, if you can be here fully, that's the greatest gift that you can bring to humanity. To be fully with yourself, no matter what meeting you are in, to be fully with yourself, direct. So the thing that you explain, I know very well, and many in here know it very well, that you have this moment of a direct experience of awareness, aware of itself. You have this moment of a glimpse. And then there is this, like, the eyes open in that moment, and there is an experience, there's a clear seeing. And then soon, it seems like that experience passed, because then the mind activity gets going again, which is who you've been taking yourself to be all through the life. This I, called Lucas, you've been taking yourself to be this one. So then, when this kicks in again, it seems like that experience passed. Yet you are here to make the report that there is this going in and going out. You are able to say, now there is this, sometimes identified and sometimes not. So that which is able to see that two different experience must be always here and must be always aware. To be able to see the two different experience is through the eyes of one awareness, which is always, always here. Yet, there is an overlooking of this. While you take yourself to be this one, this personality self, little self called Lucas, while you take yourself to be that, then it becomes, oh, that's just this awareness. Yeah? So like that, you tie yourself up, and the valuing of just this awareness that sees everything all the time. Don't worry about that. Yeah. There's no valuing in that as being all and everything, that you are ready to bow your little head as Lucas down to that which is seeing all through your experience constantly. There is the dying of that, which is the bowing down to the recognition of really what is yourself, is what we can call ego, has to see the value in that, therefore be willing to die for truth, for love. The willingness to die is in the seeing of the value. They come together. Otherwise, if the value of what has been seen is not seen, there can be the recognition of awareness itself, but the valuing, without the valuing being there, there's no willingness to die. So when you begin to see the value in you of that which is always free no matter what, even when you are tied up in experience which can be excruciating, painful and rejected, all these things, even in the midst of that, there is an aspect of you which is free, 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 and you come to see the value of this that is always here, always seeing, always being. When you see the value of that as everything, there's the willingness to die for love, because this is where love is. So it is like the little self here, like I still have a little self here that appears in my world as Ananta. That one is so in love with the beloved that it will die for truth, constantly dying for truth. But only because there is the recognition of the value and the giving the whole life to that. So you will be meeting the fear of death, yet when you see the value of what is seeing right now, this that is here all the time, regardless of experience, this that appears to be seeing itself, that is here, that appears to be just that which is aware, is the same one looking through every pair of eyes and is the only knower in existence. When you look in this moment and you try to find, if you can find any other self that you can call I right now, if you try to find anything that you could call me right now, is there anything that you can find apart from this that is aware? Just now.
No.
You make the movement to your thinking.
Yes, I did.
You saw that.
But before that, there was nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that shows you that you go towards your thinking to look for what is true.
Yeah, because I had a direct question asked at me, and so that's my conditioning as a human being to answer.
Sorry, louder, because I cannot hear you.
Because I had a direct question
Yes. What is it?
directed at me, so I reacted as a human to a question. That's when I switched.
You saw that, right. So that is the change that's going to happen, that instead of you going to your thinking to check what is true, you look from here. You look from here.
Yeah.
Like if I ask you now, is there anything else other than this that you can find to be yourself?
No.
No. And with that comes a smile, because
Yeah.
it has to come with a smile, because this is it. But the trusting of this, and the trusting to live from this, the little self doesn't yet trust that, because it's been living as if it is you. And it's mind made up, it's thought made up out of thoughts and conditionings.
I know exactly what the problem was.
Huh?
I know exactly what the problem was, because when I'm on my own, I can just fall into that fit of bliss, just being. But as soon as there are other people around me, then I start acting as a person, and I can't maintain that. Like
The problem is that you think there are other people around.
Yeah, they talk to me. It's annoying. Just kidding.
But each and every one, if you recognize that this is yourself, you look into the eyes of any being, you won't find anything else but this.
Yeah.
You can find a fabrication of mind made up self, but that's not really the true being there. You know, if you know yourself, you know all beings at the core.
Yeah.
So when you start to relate from that, from yourself, then you relate to them also as that.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is like, it's not an overnight job. The recognition is instant. It's just a moment, instant now. But the undoing of all that you've taken yourself to be is an unwinding. As long as it's taken itself to wind up to think it's you, it's going to take the time to unwind and come undone through your seeing. Yeah? So all the time that it's presented, it's not about you staying here in this experience. It's very much about the little self coming up and being seen through and lived that you start to know that, oh, this is a lie, this is not really what I am, and you, with those eyes, you start to step in and bring what you're now seeing into those places. So you're filling up this little humanness with what you're now seeing and knowing. There you're being remade. And that's happening over time.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's kind of trying to allow it.
Be willing to die for truth. If you fall in, if your little self falls in love with truth more than anything, anything, and whatever is still in the way, that you love the truth is the truth, you love that, but you love this just a little bit more, then you have to go through that one. You know?